Hey, in this video, I'm going to walk you through GoWrath and show you how the platform works end to end. The idea behind GoWrath is simple. Amazon sellers have too many important numbers sitting everywhere. Sales, profits, suppliers, expenses, reimbursements, all things which have a cascading effect on each other, but yet they're always managed separately. And we're here to fix that. We bring all of these data points into one operating system, so you can actually see what's happening across the business and also understand why it's happening, and then make better decisions from that. So I'll start with the main dashboard. So over here on the dashboard, we have a date preset. So for example, we're going to click the last 7 days. And what this gives you is a snapshot of your business in the last 7 days. For example, in the last 7 days, I made 7K and around 1.8K profit. And then if I want to see the individual sales of each day, I can actually see on the line chart. So you're going to see the revenue and profit. And then if I go to the right towards the bar chart, we can actually see the profit and COGS and the Amazon fees. The bar chart is pretty cool because you can actually visibly see your ROI. So for example, you can see how much you spent and how much your purchase profit. Then you can supplement the data points with the line chart and you can build any analytics you want. If you want to go further, you can actually drag in periods. And I click apply range, and now I have a new view within those 2 days. And everything else on this dashboard changed according to these 2 days. Then if I want to scroll down, I can see, okay, within these 2 days, how many units did I sell? Okay, for Misha, I sold 140 units, and you can actually see the profits. Everything you need is there. And if you go to the left, I can see the expenses. So now one of the coolest features of GoWrath, and that is the employee dashboard, which means you can accurately track the performance across your business. So for example, when you link a SKU to an employee and that SKU sells, that sell is now attributed towards your employee. Very similar to the dashboard we've seen before, you can actually control the view as well. So if you look at the last 7 days, you can actually see the sales in the last 7 days. So on the top, we have 15K revenue across all employees and the profit and the total spent. And as we go down, we can see the individual employees and see how well they're doing. And you can see the top selling products. So if we actually now drill down into one of the employees, so we're going to Ava, we can actually see her top selling products and we can see what else she has in inventory. And also if you scroll further down, we can see the performance breakdown. And with employees, it actually gets better. We can actually add salaries per employee. And that's also attributed towards your profit losses and also expense page. So you can actually track how much you're paying your employees. And on top of that, now that we're accurately tracking all their sales, we can give them commission. So if we see here, we're giving them a 10% commission and those commissions are published to your expenses. So everything's linked. Even gets better. You can actually do the same with suppliers now. You can assign SKUs or ASINs directly to a supplier. And on this view, we can actually see the distribution across all your suppliers. And we can see the top performers. And we scroll further down, we can see the growth rate. It's quick views to see how well they're doing and who's growing your business. And if you go further down there, we can actually see the full table of each supplier and how well they're doing us. And we can track their growth, sales, margins, everything you need here. Yeah, and if we click into Nordic, we can see their top products, their performance directly. So there's no noise, you can actually track individual suppliers too. And if you scroll further down again, you can see their assigned products. You can actually add products too if you want to. And this single page shows you how we do everything so much better. This is an expenses page. And normally you're used to having a table with a row saying recurring or a single expense and then there's just a tally on top. But here we give you the full ability to see the expenses over a period of time. So at the top we have the OPEX, so we can see our average spend over a given period. So for example, March, I know I spent £4,637. And the idea behind this is to give you a view to see how much you're spending and whether you can actually decrease the spend. And this is further enforced on the right, so we can see our category drivers, see where we're spending most of our money. Can we improve it? Let's look into it. So now if we go down to the expense ledger, we have multiple expenses and they're all trees. So for example, if we have software and we have analytics software or we have a repricing software, it's all here. And because everyone's business is so different, you can actually build your own categories and your own trees of expenses. So you can better see how you're spending money and even organize your expenses. So we have the inventory page. So at the top, we have the total amount of active SKUs, so whether they're in stock or not. We have the total quantity and we have the total sales value of the stock and the buy cost or the cost of goods. And then per row, we have the pricing, profitability per unit, how much we have available, how much is inbound. And now if we go further in and we look at the performance, we can actually see individually the performance per SKU. Then we can go in orders and see individual orders for this ASIN. And if you want to see more, you can click inside and see, more details. And typically on this page, if you get a refund, you can actually see the reason why the customer refunded it. If you remember before, we have the agent page and the supplier page. You can assign them directly here. And this is probably one of the best things we do. Normally you're used to having prep costs as an overall expense in the business. That's wrong. Prep costs are actually part of your cost of goods. And that's what we do here. If we go further inside, we can actually break down what the prep cost is. And it gives you that full control to know what you're actually spending your money on. Not having an umbrella term for prep fees. You can actually see what you're spending per prep. Then we can also see shipments per ASINs too. Then we have the shipments page. And this is how we do everything so much better. Normally you're used to having a table of shipments. And maybe if you click into it, you can see what's in each shipment. But we do more. So if we click open on the shipment, we can actually see in the bottom right the contents within the shipment, how much is shipped and how much is received, the percentage of how much is received. Go to the next one, we can start seeing the relationship between suppliers and shipments, link purchase orders, and also we automatically track every single fee for shipment. So So for your inbound transportation fee, it's linked to your shipment directly. And if it's not, you can manually do it yourself. And again, if it doesn't matter for you yet, I'm going to get into it soon. I'm going to show you how. Now, one thing you guys have been hearing me talk about, accounting page. This is where you put your purchase orders. So for example, if you have a purchase order, we scan it, we get all the information out, we look for the ASINs in each purchase order, we map it together automatically. If those ASINs already have a supplier, we map that too. And in every single corresponding view, it will be updated. So there's less work for you to do as your business grows, like it will just link itself. Now you have a full connected view and a database of your business, and you don't need to do much. All you have to do is upload the document. And now we go into the reimbursement, which I think we have the best reimbursement tracking software in the business. Normally you pay for a separate service for this, but we did the whole thing. So what this actually does is every single transaction within your business, we actually track it and we look for discrepancies. And this algorithm is so good that it will catch any discrepancy within your business. And we don't have a case status function here because you don't need to. Why? Because we actually track how much you're getting back from Amazon. So for example, over here, you can see a partial reimbursement. And what we're saying is we've estimated that you're owed £178, but you only got back £80. This case is not closed. And then because that's the case, if you go over to the right and we click generate script, it will generate your script and you can send that to the Amazon support case. And if you go further in the overview, we can actually see how much we've been given back by Amazon. So they reimburse us for 4 quantities and 2 below as well. We still need 6 more. And then we go into the cash flow page. So over here, we can see our payouts from Amazon in the last few weeks. Fees we've been paying to Amazon directly. So, we can see that here too. We can see the actual breakdown of each fee here. To see if there's refunds coming out of your account, whatever. This really helps your cash flow. And then we have the full P&L. So for every single payout you have, we calculate how much of that is profit, how much of that's to fees, to cost of goods, everything. It's all tracked. So that helps you with your cash flow and the full visibility. And if you go to the bottom over here, we can see the transactions. So for every single payout, you can actually see what it consists of, why they're taking money out of your account and why they added money to your account. If you don't catch anything in the reimbursements, which is really unlikely, you can catch it here. Or also find points of optimization. But again, we're going to go into it more. We already do that for you. And now this is where we start to see it all join together. This is Buy Plan Studio. This is everything you need to scale your business. Now, I've told you everything that we're collecting. We're collecting cash flow stuff, purchase orders, supplies, agents, and we're linking it all together. But one thing I never explained to you is why. For some, you can actually use those for yourself and actually build meaning out of it. But we want to take it a step further. We want to start automating it using against the best algorithms in the market right now. And this is what Buy Plan Studio is. So in the first part of your studio, we have a table of all your SKUs and how well they're selling. So for example, we're estimating over, I believe, over a 7-day, which is configurable, by the way. We have multiple options. So there's a 7-day, there's a 30-day, there's a 90-day, and you have a custom. You can actually choose a date or a range of orders as well, if that helps. And then with that, we're actually drawing out the velocity. So what we're saying is because we're selling around 9 a day, we have probably 20 days left to stock. Meaning your lead time, the amount of cash you have available, matters a lot. For a lot of people, it's a common problem. No one really times it well. There's too much to consider. And that's why within Studio, we've included a forecast. And that's what you see on the page now. So for example, if I go down here, over here, we have a chart. And what this chart shows you is the amount of cash you're expected to have given all the variables we've collected. So for example, I told you about shipments. One thing I never told you about shipments is, so for example, we have shipments. And one thing I haven't told you yet is we actually timestamp every single status of your shipments. So we're using all of that data to draw out accurate lead times. And then for example, your supplier, we actually collect their payment terms. So if they're net 30, net 60, net 90, or if you're on a credit card, that's all considered. There's so much data we're collecting here. We're not guessing anything here. We're using history to predict the future. And we're the only people doing this right now. So again, I'm going to go through the chart again. So we're saying on the 20th of September, we're expected to have 70k cash. Now, the question a lot of people would have is, what do we do with that cash? Okay, let's click it. So we can now draft an order from that period. This period, we have 70k cash. We can start saying, okay, we're going to order this. We're going to order about 2,500 units of this, 241 of this. Let's do 1,500. And that gives us a 4k buffer. Create this draft order, and then this will affect your projections. So now if you go further down, we can see, okay, by the end of the year, we're expected to have 100k cash. But if we want to take a step further, we can start clicking profit now. But how much profit would we make by the end of the year based on our plans and our current trajectory? So we're saying around 60k profit. What about revenue? We're expected to make 230k. Again, I need to clarify, none of this is guesstimated. All of the lead times you set, we're actually checking if they're accurate. If they're not accurate, then we're going to draw averages over your last few. And as you use this even more, it gets better and better. But we're not tracking across different suppliers, because I know different suppliers have different lead times. We're doing it per supplier. Then if you go to the top, we'll again see the quick snapshot of it. So we're saying projected profit is around 60k. This will always be updated based on your actual sales. So for example, when you have a draft order and the draft order becomes the actual order, which we automatically track, we'll actually now start comparing actuals against forecasted. So for example, if we estimate around 9 units sold a day and actually it was 11, this will reflect. I need to clarify, it looks like a big setup here, but it's not. Most of it is automated. There's a lot of things behind the scenes always linking everything together for you. Once you establish those relationships in the beginning, they'll auto-link. If I go into the orders, I actually see draft plans and then compare against confirmed orders. So again, this is automatically confirmed. If it's not, then you can manually confirm it and link everything together. Then over here, variance page, you're going to see the numbers behind the scene, what the predicted was and what the actual was. Then we have the variance and we can actually see why it's happening. Now that we've collected all of this data, built a buy plan studio, we've linked everything together, we need something that can quickly score it. And why would you want to quickly score it? Because if you're a busy person, you have a plan, you don't want to constantly check everything every time. Probably want a quick view to see, okay, am I going up or down? If you're going down, then how do I quickly see it? And that's what Pulse is for. It literally constantly checks your business over and over again, every single facet, and it scores it. So for example, if I click in profitability, you have multiple metrics. So you have gross margins, net margins, ROI, margin trend, and there's a weight on each one. You can actually manually set these to prioritize what you want. And if you go further down, we have a lot of actions, a lot of notifications telling us what's happening. We have the forecast versus actual, so what we're actually projected to hit and what we're actually hitting. And then if you go further down, we have the forecast versus actual trend. It gives you a line chart to show you what's happening. We can actually see different views. We can have profits. Then we can go to units and see if there's any discrepancies there, which is not. It's getting close in TIR, which is the ideal. And then if I go back to the top, you can actually start tuning the metrics. Okay, we don't really care about gross margin. We care more about net margin. This will all normalize then we can set our targets at the bottom too. So for example, trying to aim for 24%, put it there, 55%, put it there, because this will all account to your scores. If you're not hitting your targets, you need to see it's going down. Like there's too many things going on. You need to quickly see this stuff. And the idea behind it, for anything that's causing the score to go down, you just want one button to take you to the right place. For example, I can click Open Studio and now see what's causing the score to go down. And then we have the PPC dashboard, which shows you your total ad spend, your ACOS, your TARCOS, your ROAS. It shows you your organic sales against your ad sales, campaign efficiencies, your click-through rates, your conversion rates, everything on one page. You could check your traffic to see if you're going down. And then also you can actually start going through your campaigns and link everything together. But yeah, that's pretty much the overall walkthrough. There's a lot more I could go through, but it's for you to experiment and see for yourself, because I believe this will transform your business. We're offering a 14-day trial, so make sure you sign up. There's no risk on you. I hope to see you with us.